All right, these items finally showed up in the mail and I couldn't sleep, so we're gonna put it together right now. The item in questions are, well, before I get into that, let me show you what I got for my birthday. So for my birthday, not only did my parents show up and surprise me, but my wife surprised me with a gift. I don't remember talking to her about this or if she knew exactly what it was, but it came in this case. Well, it didn't come in this case. She got me this case separately because she knows I like accessories. She got me the Asus ROG Ally, and I gotta tell you, this thing is amazing. Yes, in 2025, I received the Asus Ally. This is not the X, you can tell by its white exterior. But while it boots up, let's go over some quick specs for those of you who love specs. It has the Z1 Extreme processor, so the best processor you can get in this version of the Ally. It has an AMD graphics card. It also has a 7-inch 120 hertz refresh rate. It also has a fingerprint reader that allows you to get into your device. It also has probably one of my favorite things on the device. It has 2 dual front-facing speakers. It's capable of doing Dolby Atmos, which for some games it's amazing, but look at the screen. Look at this screen. It also has 512 gigabytes of storage, which seems like a lot, but I'm gonna go over a few things on this device that encourage you to put a bigger hard drive in, and I'm actually gonna do that today. I can't remember when I ordered this. This is a 2 terabyte NVMe drive that you can upgrade your Asus ROG or Stream Deck or any device that takes one of these with no problem. And for the drive that comes out of this device, I'm gonna put it in this. This is a Magsafe external drive that you can plug into your iPhone and shoot raw ProRes directly from your iPhone to the drive. Let's get started. I do want to go over a few things that I don't like about the ROG or that could have been better. And you know what? They probably fixed it on the X. I haven't even looked at what the specs are on this. I'm glad I picked this one up for, I think it was either $450 or $500. Highly recommended. But first up, it only has one USB-C port, which I've gotten around it. I could buy a hub, and I do plan on buying a dock that I can plug this directly into so I can utilize it on a TV screen. But only having one USB-C sucks because sometimes I want to charge it but also use a keyboard, mouse, or use a controller. So that's one strike against it. 2, the 512 gigabytes seems like a lot, and here is the interface that comes with the device by default, and it's okay. It looks good. The thing I don't like about it is right here you have all your game platforms. Here you have all your games that are installed, but for the life of me, there is no way to see every game that you could install on this device. I almost gave up. For the first few hours, I was like, man, I love this device, but the interface kind of sucks. Then I heard about PlayNite. So let me go ahead and run PlayNite. This right here is PlayNite. As you can see at the top of the screen, you have every platform that I have on PC that has games. You have Amazon, Good Old Games, Steam, Ubisoft, Xbox, and the cool thing is I can go over to Steam, and these are all the games that are in my Steam library. I can go and just hit one button, oh, this is a playtest, and I can install it and be good to go. But the other cool thing about PlayNite is it's themable. Check this out. Yes, this kind of looks like a PlayStation layout, doesn't it? Because that's what they were inspired by. Now, you can make this look even more so, but I don't have the patience. And of course, it's not an emulator unless you get the Nintendo Switch look going on it. There we go. So now this looks like a Switch. But this is not my favorite theme because I have a bunch of games. My favorite theme is, and this is my preferred layout for the ROG PlayNite, the Anthem theme. There's a bunch of add-ons as well, but the most important thing is how much space do we have? So we're gonna open up, can you see that? Right now I'm using 447 gigs of 475 gigs. That's why we have 2 terabytes to the rescue. All right, rather than installing a fresh new drive, reinstalling all the stuff, I am going to clone the drive that's in here into this SSD that I've already formatted and put into its enclosure, and clone this drive to this drive, install it, and I should be good to go. So the software we're going to be using is called Macrium Reflect. And I'm going to plug in this drive. All right, we see up top is the drive that was already installed, and the bottom is my drive. So I'm gonna hit clone this drive. I'm gonna select what drive we want. I'm gonna click next. Okay, if you see this pop up that says something about BitLocker, you need to decrypt your drive before you do this. So in order to turn off encryption, you need to go to settings, search for device encryption. It should be on. Go ahead and click off, click turn off, and it's gonna take a little bit of time. So once this bar is done filling up, go back to the software and start cloning your drive. This is how far it's been, and I played 2 matches of Marvel Rivals. I don't know if I'm doing this tonight. All right, that took about 20 minutes. That wasn't as slow as I thought it was gonna be. So let's go back to the software. All right, let's hit next. Don't need a schedule. Now we wait. Let's see how long it takes to do 450 gigs. Oh, is it gonna give me a time? All right, we'll check back in once it's done. And with a little under an hour, 41 minutes. Not too bad. Now it's time to see what it looks like in the Explorer window. All right, as you can see, there is like a bunch of gigs unallocated, so we're going to fix that. All right, while we let this one cool off a bit, it did get a little warm, not too crazy, but a little warm. We are going to take the 6 screws off the back of this ROG Ally to get things started. So let's get our trusty screwdriver and let's go. Oh yeah, before I forget, let's shut this thing down. That would have been interesting. Shutting down, check the lights. As long as that light goes out, we're good to go. All right, back to the surgery. This middle one stays in the case itself. All right, there we go. Now we take our handy dandy flat tool to just get the case off. Boom. That is the inside of our ROG. Doesn't look too crazy. Now we take this plug out. That is the battery. Then I believe under this sticker is our old hard drive, or SSD rather. But before we get to that, this should have cooled off by now. Let's go ahead and take the screw out. Take our new drive out. Take the screw out on this one. I could take this tape off, but I don't trust myself to put it back where it goes. Here is the old 512 drive. We'll be putting directly into this enclosure that will be now external hard drive space for my iPhone to record ProRes footage. That's gonna be awesome. Let's go ahead and get this other one installed. Now let's just plug everything back in. By everything, I mean this one cable. And then put the screws back on. This is the easiest case I've ever moved on any handheld ever. I used to take the cases off my 3DS, or the DS for that matter, so many times, and that was complicated. And with that, we have all the screws back in. Now let's see if it turns back on. All right, moment of truth. I just realized that I had this thing in this case upside down this entire time. Anyways, little scare. I forgot you gotta plug in a cable to turn on the power after you unplug it. That's why it didn't work. Let's go ahead and get that fingerprint and let's see what our gigs is looking like. So right now, it's still looking like it thinks it's the old drive. So we need to, I'm gonna explain what I did real quick, because if you have something between the unallocated and the drive you wanna expand, you won't be able to expand it. Also, it wouldn't let me delete those drives, so I had to download this software called AOMEI Partition Assistant. Use the software to delete those 2 partitions for free. Now, if I right-click this, I can extend drive, and now it's using the entire space of the drive that I just put in, and we can verify that by going back over to the launcher, general, storage. Oh yeah, look at all that free space. And that was it. Aside from the hiccup of the drive not eating all the space that I wanted it to, and not remembering to plug in the USB-C once I was done putting everything back together for turning it on for the first time, that was a flawless execution. That was the fastest I ever swapped out a SSD in my life. Highly recommended. If you need more space on your Ally, ROG, especially in 2025, if you're picking one of these up, get a drive before it gets too expensive. But right now, for what I use it for, the ROG Ally has been perfect. I love it. 10 out of 10. All right, I'll see y'all on the next one.